Hey YouTube! Those who don't know me, my name is Michael Kazmierski Dunn, and welcome to another episode, a fresh new episode of Blind Piper Reacts. So, the other day, you know that the people who are subscribed to me will know that I've recorded my reactions to the Sardinian throat singing, right? Now, yesterday, I couldn't even get it out of my head, and I wanted to get it out of my head. So I texted Haley, and for those of you who don't know, Haley's my absolutely coolest friend in the world. I like her so much that I wish she was my girlfriend. I mean, maybe, hopefully, but um, but she does have school to complete. So I mean, I understand that. So I would let her finish school first before we even think about it. But anyway, um, she has perfect pitch, which I love about her. She likes all my favorite Facebook pages and all my favorite singers and all that stuff. So I think that's what makes it so special. And I have not found any matches besides Haley. Anyway, so I texted Haley. I told her I can't get this Sardinian throat singing out of my head. Whoa, what was that? I have one of my two windows open in my apartment. For one, it's a little bit stuffy, so I prefer to have one window open because I prefer fresh air way over stuffy, stale air. So that's and this apartment is situated in the middle of the city, so you're gonna hear a lot of noises, and that's like out of my control. Anyway, so I texted Haley. I'm like, hey, I can't get this Sardinian throat singing out of my head. She's like, hey, here's something. So what she did was she sent me another piece by her favorite classical composer, Maurice Ravel, and classical music is one of her favorite genres. Just like I love bagpipes and good opera singers, let's face it, good opera singers, which there are barely any left. Classical music is one of Haley's favorite genres. So she's like, hey, okay, how about this instrumental piece by Maurice Ravel? And he was a French composer who lived from 1875 to 1937. And a lot of his pieces were in French. And I don't speak any French whatsoever, so I'm going to have to plug in the name of the piece into my French screen reader here. Well, it does sound a little Spanish. I mean, if it were in Spanish, it would be Alberado del Gracioso. But I don't know what the correct pronunciation is because it looks a lot like Spanish. And this is an orchestral piece. I'm just making sure the volume is up loud enough. So anyway, I'll proceed and react to this piece. So this was what she tried to use to get the Sardinian throat singing out of my head. Did not get it. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to much of it yesterday because I feared there would be a serious wobble vibrato, which most opera singers have. Anyway, that didn't get the throat singing stuck out of my head. What did was actually a funny dream I had this last night about one of my favorite singers. Her name is Elaine Beckerstaff, and her stage name is Paige. I don't know where she got Paige. I mean, because Paige was not one of her real names. Anyway, I keep getting sidetracked here. So anyway, I'll go ahead and react to this Ravel piece because I figured that Haley would love to hear how my reaction is, and you too. If you're not familiar with Ravel, like I am not familiar with Ravel. I mean, I know the Bolero, which Haley introduced me to. I mean, I've never heard of Ravel until Haley actually introduced me to him. So, shows you how dumb I am about classical music. Maybe someday, Haley, you should do a reaction to some of my favorite music. Well, then again, I think all your other friends are subscribed to you too. So, I mean, you can do it. If you want to, you can do it privately. So, anyway, enough talk. Here we go. So this Ravel piece, the Alberado del Gracioso, at least in Spanish. I don't think that's what it is in French, but because it sounds Spanish, I'm assuming it's Spanish. So here we go. Ooh, D major, D minor. Wow. Phrygian. Reminds me of Bolero a little bit. Or not Phrygian, but it's take a major but with minor seconds instead. Okay, very dull charamella, which is the significant other of the Italian zampogna. I think it's an oboe. Clarinet. Ooh, major minor again. You see, Ravel is a very chromatic composer, an atonal composer. Whoa! Ah, castanets. Ooh. You gotta have a lot of dexterity for those 30-second, or for those fast triplets. Whoa. Wow. Good luck doing that on a chatamella. There's a famous chatamella player who could tongue almost that fast. Dexterity. Ooh. Big crescendo there over the course of several notes. Ooh. I would assume that would be like somebody supposed to depict somebody singing or crying or something. A minor with a 7th chord added to it. Or a 7th, sorry, A minor 7, excuse me. It's an interesting chord. Ooh, an F grace note? Wow. Ooh. A major 7th with a B flat on top. Ooh. Reminds me of an old movie score for silent movies a little bit. In one of my classes in college, we had to watch some of the first ever movies ever made, but a friend of mine in class didn't have time to describe it, so I just had to sit and listen. And she sent the description to me later, but the music was just, in and of itself, was just very Ravel-esque, now that I think about it. Who knows, maybe some of Ravel's pieces could have been used for those silent movie scores. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. 3 notes that are chromatically F sharp and G, and with a C sharp added. Holy balloon! I have a friend who uses the word balloon, but BLOON, and she substitutes that for a swear word. So. This is dreamy indeed, very dreamy. Ooh. Wicked. It reminds me of a storm a little bit. Maybe this is supposed to represent a storm. They must be tapping their bows against the strings or against their instruments. I like how it gives that kind of woody and kind of rustic tree-like sound to the... Whoa! Wow. Ooh! Screaming flutes and piccolos and wow. Crazy clarinet. Wow. Good luck playing this one on a charamela, like I said. This could be the ultimate charamela concerto. So, I guess the charamela is the right instrument for you, Haley. If you like Ravel, I mean, this could be perfect for playing on a charamela. Because it is chromatic, and it has over 2 octaves range, so... Goodness. Ravel, you are wicked. Oh, that brass player must have messed up. Ooh, there you go. Wow. Crazy! Wow. Ravel, again, you are wicked. Wicked. There have been no matches in the bagpipe world. I mean, sure, very famous pipers, date-wise, but probably the closest we have would be Gordon Duncan, or maybe Don Thompson, who wrote a really interesting pipe band suite in the 1980s called Journey to Sky. And even though it doesn't use any of the chromatic notes on bagpipes that were discovered by Gordon Duncan, it is very interesting, and it's very... it's probably the closest thing to this piece when it comes to pipe band music. I do know of another piece called... is by Don Bradford. It's called Before the Storm. It's a pipe band suite, which is kind of similar to Journey to Sky, but not quite as intricate, or not intricate, but like complicated. Holy Macillo, Haley, you did it! You did it! You did it! This is just wow, very wicked. Oh, and I also noticed some of the tonguing sequences, the really fast, almost sounded like the rhythm of the backing rhythm of Bolero, but much faster. Almost like that. So I can see why. I can definitely see the similarities they have with each other, but this one, this one, of course, is a whole lot more atonal. So yeah. For those of you who haven't liked or subscribed to my channel yet, feel free to hit like or subscribe, and subscribe, comment away all you want. And join me for another episode of Blind Piper Reacts, coming soon, whenever I feel like it. And yeah, if there's anything unusual happening here around, like, if there's anything unusual happening around me, I'll be sure to post it as well. I know of a few pipers who like to record everything, not just bagpipes, but everything else that they like doing, or things that they think are unusual and stuff like that. So reacting to things is not unheard of. I mean, I know of a ton of YouTube channels who do that, so mostly for the visuals, but you haven't really heard many reactions to audio alone, so yep, so there you have it. And have a nice day, and thank you for listening.